All right, so we want to make sure that marketing is something that we are paying attention to early in our business while we are still in the business planning stages, especially for home care. Very important to know who your ideal client is, know your target areas that you are going to be marketing your business, because this is something that you are going to continuously do throughout the tenure of your business. So one of the biggest things that I talk about and that I tell my clients to focus on is knowing their ideal client. And John has an amazing presentation. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself, but he has developed a way for home care providers, the senior care providers, not just exclusively home care, but senior care providers, to target their ideal client and make sure that their marketing efforts are not in vain. So, John, please introduce yourself to the group. Tell us about Straight Marketing, and we're ready to hear this amazing presentation.
Great. Thanks so much, Dina. Really appreciate the intro you just gave, and that information is definitely a fantastic starting point. So, hello to everyone out there. My name is John Hetrick. Like Dina mentioned, I'm the founder of Straight Marketing, and I work primarily with companies in the senior care space, so different home care agencies, assisted living, memory care, and so on, to help them with their presence online. So, like Dina mentioned, with marketing being so important, there are so many different avenues and ways to market your business, and there's a lot of differences between marketing online and offline. Now, today, with the baby boomers being so involved with the internet nowadays and on social media, and with many of the older adults that you're going to be marketing to also being on the internet and social media, it's becoming a very prime way to reach that audience and your ideal customer and bring that person into your business. So today I'm going to be covering from a higher level, really how to start marketing yourself online and how to use certain strategies to help you reach those people who are the most ideal clients of yours, bring them into your business, and then establish and grow your presence over time to build a predictable flow of these people constantly coming into your business. So from a high level, that's what we're going to be covering here today, so I can just hop right into it. So, you started a home care agency. That's why you're here, and that's why you're listening to this presentation. So, you got all the legal work done, of course. You hired caregivers. You probably went out and established referral sources and relationships in the community, and you waited for business to come. Now, I speak with home care agency owners on a daily basis and work with them on a daily basis, and I'm constantly hearing the same thing from so many people I talk to. John, I went out, I spoke with all of the local hospitals, all of the local, whoever you might talk to establish a bunch of referral sources to get business coming in the door, and it's just not happening. It's slow, it's unpredictable. I lose referral sources sometimes, and it's really just not a reliable way for me to maintain and grow my business. And although this can be a viable way and it's a great way to start and definitely something that you should establish, it can make the growing process very difficult, and it can be hard to continue to get clients coming in the door when you rely on this specifically. So this is why I'm focusing on helping companies like this and you guys establish a presence online and using the internet to be another source of business. So you guys are all in different positions, I'm sure, been in business for different amounts of time, have different client bases, making different revenues, of course, and doing different things in terms of your marketing now. Some of you guys might be experts here to hear a few new tips. Some of you guys might not be doing anything online at all. But I'm willing to bet that you guys all need help in some way, of course, because there's always more to learn and there's so much involved in the marketing space online, and that's what we're going to jump into here. So some more information about me. Again, my name's John Hetrick, and I consider myself a bit of a digital media specialist. Like I mentioned previously, I do focus specifically on senior care and helping companies in this space establish and grow their business online, so you guys can focus on providing great care, great service, and work on building the business as well. Over here on the right, you can see a few companies we've worked with in the past and currently engaging with. There are multiple others in the senior care space, of course, that are not listed there for some different reasons. But, all this to just say that I have the processes and experience to drive business for you guys, and have been doing this for years. So my first question then is, why are you here? I'm guessing you need help with your business online, and you probably don't know where to start, who to work with, or what to invest. Because, there's so much out there. It's super confusing, and you're most likely very cautious of burning money. Nowadays it's very hard to trust people when it comes to online marketing and paying people for certain services. And there's a lot of people just trying to make a quick buck and not really focus on establishing a firm relationship and being invested in your business. And that's very hard to deal with. So I want to address these concerns for you guys here today and show you some things that you can start doing today on your own and implement some strategies to avoid these issues. So why am I here? First, I'm here to help you guys, to give you some knowledge that you can implement today that can help you better understand your business and what actions you need to take to start generating more business online. Secondly, I'm here because I have the skills and know-how to help you grow and to guide you. And finally, I'm here to answer your questions. So I know there's a chat box, so feel free to be sending in any questions, and we'll definitely get to those at the end. So overall, I'm here to help and provide you with some value. So real quick, let's talk about who this is for and who it's not for. Because at the end of the day, your current strategy is either winning, it's losing, or it's just not winning enough. It's one of those three things. So this webinar here today is for businesses who want growth. You want to win your market out there. You want to help more people. And you know that you're leaving money on the table by not addressing all of the various avenues to generate more business. Secondly, this is not for businesses and owners who feel like they have it all figured out. I'm just asking for an honest commitment here today to explore your current strategy, consider some of the things I'm laying out, and look into maybe implementing them into your business as well. So if you're willing to explore new avenues and keep an open mind for different strategies, there's a lot you're going to be able to do to grow your business moving forward. So let's talk about what you're going to learn then. First, we're going to talk about the 5 forces holding you back in business and the reasons why you're not reaching the goals that you have set. Next, we're going to talk about the 4-tier trade system that we developed over here at Trade Marketing that lays out the 4 steps that we like to take business through and advise everyone to go through as they continue growing and establishing a presence online. And then next, we're going to talk about how to use the internet to grow your business, of course. Keep in mind, this is going to be very broad. There's many, many different topics to explore, and I'm going to touch on a few. But everything that we're going to talk about today could probably be a full web class in itself. So today's goal is to really just expose you to all the various things that you can explore, and then you can go and look into them in more depth and maybe implement some of them as well. So all in all, you're going to walk away with some very solid knowledge about your business and the internet that you can go implement today. So let's talk about the massive business opportunity out there. So much business could be gained, but is lost online every single day. And this is a big reason why I love working in the senior care space because, nowadays with everyone being on the internet, like I mentioned previously, new business starts online. The sales process is starting online. Decisions are being made online. People are doing research. They're going to people's websites. They're watching videos, reading reviews, and so on, and using the internet to navigate their sales process. And also, those who take advantage of this best time to grow their business online are going to win. Because right now, the cost of attention and advertising is very, very low. And as more and more people start jumping on board and seeing the value here, it's definitely going to be increasing over time. So that's something very key that I want to mention here because now is the perfect time to start. But, before you can move forward, you really need to understand what's holding you guys back. Okay? So let's talk about the 5 forces. And this is something we love to talk about because, you could ask fellow business owners, you could ask yourself, what are the reasons why you're not reaching the goals you want to reach and growing at the rate you want to grow? And, you might have 1 or 2 things that you feel like are holding you back, but in reality, there's at least 5 here that we like to talk about that are standing in your way. And they all surround around the simple equation here of profit equals price minus cost. And all of these 5 things either impact the price, the cost, or both. So the first here are rivals. Now, your rivals are your direct competitors, of course, in your area. the other home care agencies that you compete directly with for clients, for referrals, and so on. Of course, you need to have a very strategic plan to combat your rivals, to say why you're the best option out there and why people should come to you. Okay. Second here are alternatives and substitutes. So this could be maybe the nursing home down the street, memory care facilities, assisted living, independent living, who knows, whatever it may be out there, that another company that provides a similar service to you, but not necessarily non-medical home care or whatever your specific business is. Okay, third are powerful buyers. So these are people who like to shop around. The decision makers who call all the different agencies in the area, and they're really bargain hunting. They're trying to find the best deal. They demand more of you for the same price you're offering, or they demand a cheaper price for what you're currently offering. And this can be a big struggle, because that, of course, impacts your profits in the end if you have to lower your cost or provide more value for people. And it's a struggle because a lot of people and a lot of businesses only have so many leads on a given day and only so many people to work with. So you just have to deal with these people's demands. All right, so that's something that you need to look into as well. Fourth here are powerful suppliers. So as you start advertising and purchasing traffic and things like that, you'll see that it can be expensive. And when you rely on a platform or you rely on a referral source, for a business like that, at the end of the day, they're in control of your business. So, for example, if you rely on Facebook for all of your leads that come in and all of your business, and Facebook one day changes their terms, or with everything going on in the news, something radical changes inside of the platform, the algorithm, and then all of a sudden your leads stop, then you're in trouble, of course, because you're relying on a powerful supplier. Same goes for a referral source or any way that you get business. So you need to have a way that really solidifies you and bulletproofs you from one single powerful supplier for getting business. Finally here is threat of entry. And this is something that probably resonates with a lot of you guys out there, as I'm sure you're newer agency owners. So threat of entry is when another business enters the marketplace. So, another home care agency opens up in your area, and then that, of course, causes your piece of the pie to get a little bit smaller. So you need to assess that and see, what processes do we have in place? What strategy are we implementing that new businesses can't come in and then just replicate and do the same thing and catch up with us? Okay. So those are the 5 forces. Definitely something to consider, to look into, take note of. And as you continue developing your strategy and business development moving forward, consider these things and how your strategy is really combating these 5 items. So next here is the 4-tier straight system. Okay, and again, like I mentioned, these are the 4 steps that we suggest and love to take businesses through as they continue growing over time. So there's two categories of these steps: organic and then paid. So these are 2 types of different traffic that you can bring in. So the difference here: organic is free. Examples of organic traffic is people finding your website through Google, maybe people sharing your Facebook posts and things like that doesn't cost you any money and is bringing traffic to your business. Paid, on the other hand, is giving money to a platform like Google to put ads out there, to pay Facebook to boost a post or to put ads out there and buy traffic coming in. Okay, and towards the beginning of business, we really like to focus on establishing very strong organic traffic and best practices there, and then slowly transition into more and more advanced paid traffic sources, and using that as a great way to generate business as well. So the first here is website, SEO, and social media. Okay, so first, you need to have a great website, right? You got to have a great website where people go there and they say, all right, I know this is a home care agency. Because there's 3 big questions that people ask themselves when they come to a website. They ask, where am I? What do they do? And what can I do here? So, where are they in terms of on the internet? They need to know that they're at your business website. They need to know that you are a home care provider. And they need to know that you can do a few various things. Maybe it's reach out over phone. Maybe it's a live chat. Maybe it's look at your services. Whatever it may be, it just needs to be very clear right off the bat. Second, you got to have great design. Okay, design is very, very important. Consumers and people on the internet decide within something like 50 milliseconds from the time they land on a website whether or not they're going to stay there and read the content or they're going to leave. Okay, and all these decisions are based around design. So if your website's not appealing, it's not attractive, that it's not designed very well, you're going to lose a lot of traffic. So that's something very, very important to look into as you continue building your websites and refine things over time. Third here is usability. So, if people know where they are, they know what they can do on your site, and it has great design, fantastic. But at the end of the day, if your website's not easy to use and mobile responsive, then people aren't going to stay and use it as well. So it's very important you think about that and you implement those things too, because your website is the anchor for your business. People need to be able to go there and say, they need to have a great feel for who you are as a business, what you do, and how much you really care about everything you do in your business based upon how your website looks, right? So next here is you need to get ranked. Are people finding you? It's great to have a fantastic website and all, but if nobody's going there at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So you need to think about that. And this is what involves SEO, which is called search engine optimization. And this is basically building your website so that search engines like Google and Bing and Yahoo can read it very efficiently to understand what you do and then show your website to people when they search certain keywords. So when people search something like home care near me, you need to be able to pop up and they need to be able to find you. Okay, so you need to consider that as well. And then finally here with social media, it's very important to build an audience and especially to engage them. Keep in mind, this is something free that you can do today if you're not actively doing it now. And you can focus on Facebook, Instagram, and even Twitter to start doing this today. So start posting engaging and helpful content to people out there. Bring people to your Facebook page to get likes, to share, to comment, and start engaging an audience and establish yourself as a professional resource for people who need help navigating their aging life and finding help with their parents and so on. Because this is the first step right here. If you establish this, it's a very strong anchor for everything to build off of moving forward. So to recap, that's for your website, SEO, which is search engine optimization, and social media. Okay, second here are your reviews and reputation. Okay, so this is something that's also very, very important to consider and start implementing today. All right, so you have to have great reviews and look great online and have a very strong reputation because people need to know you're great. Trust is everything in this industry. And to hire a company and bring a caregiver into your home to trust you with their loved one or, with a parent or whatever it may be, there of course needs to be a tremendous amount of trust there. And having a very strong positive reputation online is a great way to do that. Okay, so this is the second step. And by having a strong reputation and reviews, I mean on sites like Google, on caring.com, on Facebook, on all these different platforms, people can leave you reviews. So I'm sure as you look for local businesses, restaurants, buy stuff online, you're looking at the star ratings and so on and using reviews to help you make a strong buying decision. This is the same thing. So if we look at this next slide here, I want you to imagine that you're somebody looking for home care for your mom and you search some keywords and this pops up on Google. This is what we call the Google 3-pack. So these are the top 3 businesses that Google is showing for a certain search. So if we look at these and ask ourselves, who would you call first? And what it comes down to is people look for 3 things when they search for local businesses. They look for who's ranking the highest, who has the most reviews, and who has the highest star rating. Okay, and if we look at these, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but the first one here has a 1-star rating with 2 reviews. The second has a 3.3 star rating with 3 reviews. And the third listing has a 4.1 star rating with 14 reviews. And probably 10 out of 10 people, everybody I ask this question to selects the third one. And it's very interesting to see this because if you notice, they don't have a website. And on top of that, they're ranked 3rd. Okay, so people are making decisions based on your reviews and reputations very heavily, and it even holds more weight than having a website and being ranked on top. Because you can see, of course, they have the highest star rating by quite a few points, and they have many more reviews than these other two businesses, which establishes them as a trustworthy and established company. So, look yourself up on Google. And if you're not on Google, then of course claim your Google listing, which is something we could talk about more in depth. But consider these things and work on getting more reviews. Okay, and we'll touch on some strategies to do that towards the end. So there's all these key factors that influence how people actually look at reviews. So the first here, of course, is the average star rating. Do you have 1 star like this company, or do you have a 4.1 star or a 5 star? The second are total number of reviews or total lack of reviews. And with this, you can see 2 reviews, 3 reviews, and 14 reviews. And that obviously holds a lot of weight as well. Next here, people look at the review frequency and the age. You can't see from this view, but if you pull up these businesses, we can see how often people leave reviews, how old they are, and what they're saying in them. That's important as well. Next here is the average rating across multiple sites. So this is just Google here, but people, when they're considering local business, they're not just looking on Google. So they're going to go look you up on Facebook. They're going to look you up on caring.com, and they're going to see if your 4.1 star rating here on Google is the same over on Facebook, or maybe it's better on Facebook. And they look for consistency because, you of course don't want to have a 1 star on Google when you have a 5 star on Facebook and things like that. So it needs to be consistent. Next, people look at how a business responds to negative reviews. And this says a lot about, who you are as a business and how you address people's negative concerns. So it'd be interesting to go in here and see how this business here responded to those 2 1-star reviews and see if they addressed the problem, see if they, we're trying to help this person and solve the issue for them, because people look at that as well. Then finally, it's just the overall sentiment of the reviews, of course. Are people leaving very long, detailed, positive reviews, very short, scripted reviews, and the negative, things like that? So those are all the key factors that influence reviews, and they should be things that you think about and you're implementing as you move forward in your business. So next, how are people actually using the reviews is the question. I told you that it's very key in the decision-making process, but here are some very key stats for all of this. It turns out 95% of people search for local businesses online. So 95% of people out there are searching for a home care agency by going on the internet. And 91% of people are reading the online reviews about that business. So everybody's doing it, and it's key in their decision-making process. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, most people look at 2 or more review sites before actually making the decision as well. Now, this next point is very, very key. 84% of people trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. Now, this is super, super powerful when you can implement it the right way. Think about what this means. This means that somebody's cousin calling them up and saying, so-and-so home care did a fantastic job for me. I definitely trust them with my mom. They provided great care. Definitely recommend them for you as well. That phone call to that person holds just as much weight as a random person typing that in on Google and them stumbling across it, at least for 84% of people out there. And that's a very powerful stat. It just goes to show how important it is to get these reviews, because it can bring you a tremendous amount of business. Okay, and then finally here, 73% of consumers think that reviews older than 3 months aren't relevant. So if you're not constantly getting more reviews, people lose trust in them. 3 months ago, you could have had completely different staff. A lot of things could have changed in that time period where they just don't trust it anymore. So you need to keep bringing more in. Great, so there's 3 big reasons why people don't review. And this is a big roadblock in the senior care space for a lot of people that we work with. People say they just don't have time, they forgot, or they just don't know how. And people just not knowing how is probably the biggest thing. Because although more people are on the internet nowadays, of course, it's still difficult to navigate through a site like Facebook and Google and find a way to review and type in the review and select the star rating and things like that. So it's very important to have a system in place to work around these problems And this is what we help people with as well. So if you struggle with that, there may be better approaches out there to come in and get these reviews and avoid these big objections that people have. So here's what you can do today. Go out there and make sure that you have listings on Google, caring.com, Facebook, Bing, and so on. In a listing, like I pointed out earlier on this slide, it's these things right here. So this is when Google knows that you're a business and it's up here for people to find. Okay, and you can do that through business.google.com or just do a Google search for Google My Business, and you can set it up through there. And that's a very key component. Okay, so once you have that, you can do some great things to get people to leave reviews. You can have family members go and leave reviews. Ask everyone in your family at family parties, encourage people to go do it. Have your caregivers leave reviews. Talk about how you're a great company to work for, and so on. And use your employees to do that as well. And then finally, of course, have your clients and their family members leave reviews too. And you can do this kind of stuff when you have maybe your caregiver in their home, maybe you're meeting with the family, whatever it may be, and use in-person opportunities to encourage that as well. Because, of course, it's more of a struggle to do it through email, text messages, and things like that, although that's what we specialize in helping with. But regardless, this just means that you can help people do it. And you can start doing this today to make yourself look great online and to become the default choice for other people making these searches in your area, because I'm willing to bet that your competitors aren't focusing on this right now, and that opens the door for you to come in and take advantage of that. So third here is digital marketing. Now, this is really what we specialize in and we love helping people with, because the opportunity is just so immense out there to implement digital marketing strategies in this day and age. So it's really a golden opportunity is what we like to say. And, it's really the key to having predictable and consistent business coming in the door day after day. Okay, and there's multiple different platforms that you can advertise on, like Facebook, like Google, like Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. But they all really stem around this simple strategy right here. Okay, where you have an advertisement and you place it in front of someone. And you use this to build awareness with people, show them that you exist. Educate them, maybe share some facts about aging, maybe share some facts about Alzheimer's, whatever it may be, educate people, and then eventually make an offer. Give a discount on a first week of home care, give a free consultation, whatever an offer you may have, but make an offer to encourage action. Okay, and then from an ad that you show to people, you can drive them to a landing page where you can capture their information. Have them submit to you their name, their email address, their phone number, who they might be looking for care for, all these kinds of things you can capture from people while still educating them and building more trust. Okay, and then ultimately that information goes to you where you can then start a conversation with that person, set up a meeting, give them a consultation, and eventually bring them on as a client. And all this can be done from the internet, just taking a stranger out there, educating them, building awareness and trust, and then eventually bringing them on as a client. Okay, so what this means for you is that you can really have clients on demand with this strategy and when you implement it properly. So next I want to talk about Facebook and using Facebook to do digital marketing. So Facebook has so much data that can help you reach your ideal clients, and it's absolutely incredible. So things like age, gender, location, interests, demographics, income, and so much more can all be targeted inside of Facebook to reach your ideal audience and your ideal client and ultimately bring that person to your business. So you can reach those people, tell them who you are, and have them reach out to you. And this is by far the most powerful way to generate business, because there's ultimately no cap on how many people you can reach. If you cover a 20-mile radius, you can target all of the people 40 to 65 and over in your area who make a certain amount of money each year, who are women, and put your ad in front of them and just show them to thousands and thousands of people and ultimately bring them into your business. And this is something that you guys can do, okay? There's a whole lot of buttons inside of Facebook, of course, and there's very advanced strategies So I advise you to do a lot of research, maybe hire an agency to help you with this. But it's something that you can start doing and use to supplement and add on top of your current marketing strategies that you may be doing and your referral sources. So here are some examples. These are some clients that we worked with recently, and these are examples of ads trying to find residents for a facility and also to find caregivers. And these were extremely, extremely successful. So if we see, we're just putting information out there to people, talking about the facility, talking about what they do, educating people, and then just encouraging them to contact. Here, this is trying to recruit CNAs and LPNs and just asking people, do they want to be valued and appreciate your job? Encouraging them to apply now and then collecting their information to eventually hopefully hire them. And we just put that in front of very targeted people. For this example, we're targeting people in like a 20-mile radius who are registered CNAs and LPNs, and we're able to show that person the ad. Now, of course, that converts incredibly well and is extremely targeted. So here's what you should do. Because on top of all these ads, you can also do the organic posting that I talked about earlier. So I encourage you to write down your top 3 competitors out there. The other agencies in your area, the ones that are really killing it online, have very strong strategies, and just look at their Facebook pages, right? Look at their posts. What are they posting? Maybe you'll get targeted with one of their ads, go to their website, and just look at what they're doing that works. And take that, adapt it, and improve upon it for your business as well. Next, you should do some Google searches. Search yourself and audit your reviews. See what you have out there. And this is actually something that we offer for free for people, to run a free review audit to see, what sites you're on. Maybe you're already on caring.com getting reviews every week and you just don't even know it, right? So that's something you can look up and something we help people with for free. But then search phrases like home care near me. See if you pop up. Home care in your city, Atlanta, wherever you may be, just search that. See if you pop up. See who pops up and see what they're doing right. Because I guarantee those people are the ones that are, reaching your audience online and generating business from that, right? And then you can also see what pops up in terms of ads. See how other people are advertising. Odds are if they're still spending money on it, it's working. So you can take that, you can adapt it, and you can start today to implement a lot of these things in your business and just get a head start, right? So start posting on social media frequently. Have a schedule. Build an email list build an email list of people you've worked with in the past, with prospects that you have. Gather their emails and start sharing content through email. Do similar things that you do on social media through email, because an email list is also very powerful. Next, just run some simple Facebook ad campaigns, but be sure that you're doing this properly and effectively, because it's very easy to burn a lot of money with no results when you don't really know what you're doing. Next, start a blog. If you don't have a blog on your website, this is also a great way to get ranked, to drive more traffic, and establish yourself as an expert out there in your space for people to come to for advice. Now, of course, this is a bit all over the place, right? I'm talking about a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different strategies, and that's something that I mentioned I was going to be doing before, of course, because there's so much out there that you can do. And these are just some of the first steps that you can consider and start implementing today. But again, all of these things could be a full web class within themselves, because there's so much information. But what's so great about the internet is that you can take all these notes, all these high-level concepts, and go do some research. Read up more on it. Contact a few people, other agencies in your area, see what they're doing as well. Okay, and you can slowly start to build a strong presence online over time that eventually will bring you predictable business very consistently. So next I have a few tips for you. First off, like Dina mentioned at the very beginning, it's important to know your audience, who your ideal client is. So as you reach people online, they're going to be in one of 3 stages here: the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the decision stage. And each one requires a different level of attention, different ways to use certain language and terms and things like that. And it's important to know how you're going to address these three groups. So the awareness stage, of course, is someone who's just aware of the fact that, something like home care might be beneficial. Maybe somebody realizes mom's getting a little bit old, and can't really do a lot of things around the house that she wishes she could do. And because of that, they might be, they're aware of the fact that home care might be a viable option in the near future. Consideration stage is someone who knows, yeah, we need home care. So, we're going to consider some options. We might do some searches, maybe go to a few websites, walk into a few places, things like that, and just sort of shop around, see what might make sense. And finally, it's the decision stage. And this is where, people decided, I need a home care agency to come in, next week and help my mom around the home. So, of course, all of these you're going to talk to differently. You're going to approach differently. And you need to know who you're really trying to target, because all three are great markets. The awareness stage, you can bring people through the awareness to consideration to decision over time by educating them, building trust, and showing them why you have such great value, right? But the approach is different for the decision stage, where you need to hop in, like right now, and make an offer to try to get people to come to you as well. So all in all, it's important to provide value. With the social age that we live in, it's very important to be transparent, to be trustworthy, and provide value for people. Because if they're not getting value from you, then the relationship's just not really viable, right? Nobody's going to follow you and read your stuff if it's just you saying, hey, come give us a call today. We do home care, things like that. But providing value with like tips for how to do more stuff around the home, or 3 tips for Alzheimer's, early stage Alzheimer's, how to deal with things, and things like that can be very engaging and very important for a lot of people, right? And then next year, you just need to establish your staff and yourself as a group of experts. People want to have somewhere where they can turn, someone who they can trust and know that, you're providing great information. That's very key as well, because that's where you're going to build a lot of trust with people over time, and then they're going to come to you when they're ready to make the decision, right? So when you have a relationship with someone over a span of months where you're constantly providing value, sharing posts, they're seeing your ads, things like that, eventually when they have the need, if they don't already, you're going to be top of mind. They're going to remember you, and they're going to come to you. So, what this means is you can implement this stuff today. So you can start today. So there's so much that you can go do that I just laid out here today to get started with all this, and slowly start building things up and improving upon it over time. Because there's so much that is harder to implement effectively out there, that you need a strong foundation built already to do properly. So starting with a lot of things I mentioned today to build that foundation is a great way to start transitioning into the harder things to implement effectively, like advanced Google pay-per-click campaigns and retargeting, and all these things that we could talk about in the future after you get this stuff established and up and running, right? So also, if you may want help with all of this, I'd be happy to chat. Again, I speak with home care agency owners and work with them on a daily basis. So I understand a lot of the problems you guys face, and I have direct strategies to implement to help with all of them. And it's something that I'm very passionate about doing. So, here's an example of just all the things that we do for people, and all the things out there that you might eventually need to look into and implement to have a very, very strong presence online, and really master the art of online marketing as an agency owner. So what this just means is, we can help you grow and take you through all 4 of those steps over time, if you might want help and some guidance through that. But either way, there's plenty that you can go do today. You can hire people to do for you and things like that, you don't even need me for. But at the same time, I'd be happy to give you a little bit of guidance and just talk with you on the phone even if you're a little lost on where to go, because, again, this is a whole lot to throw at you. So with that, just to wrap things up here, we learned about the 5 forces holding you back, which are rivals, alternatives and substitutes, powerful buyers, powerful suppliers, and threat of entry. Okay, and how you need to address all of those things and consider them as you move forward with your business. Next, we talked about those 3 stages of digital growth that you can start implementing today with your website SEO, and with your review and reputation management, and also with doing some basic digital marketing as well as I forgot to mention social media. Okay. We also talked about strategies and tips to get started today. So you go back and reference those notes and those things I laid out that you can go do right now. If you don't know how to do some of them, just do some simple Google searches, do some research, ask around, ask some family members, because a lot of these things are more simple, quick, and easy to implement, and they go a long way. Okay. Then finally, again, I touched on all this from a high level. I mentioned a couple of times each one of these could be a full web class alone, but I think it was beneficial to lay all that out there and at least make you aware of all the different things that you can start doing, because it's a very long process when you want to implement so many different things. Okay, so that's really from a high level what you should consider and what you should start implementing moving forward to help market your home care agency online. And if you may be interested in some more topics and some more of these things to talk about more in depth, then that's something Dean and I could definitely discuss, maybe looking in and putting it together for you guys, because I know I'm sure you have a lot of questions with that. But regardless, you can take action today. So I really encourage you to go do it, because it can go a long way. So, that's all I really have for you guys. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
All right, let me take everyone off of mute. I'm going to unmute everyone so you all can be free to ask any questions that you have. Make sure. All right, any questions?
Yes. Hi, my name is Corey. I have a question in regards to, like, once you start building the business, and, like, for me, I'm really at the beginning, and I know that there are different avenues as far as, like, advertisement and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But what would be, like, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What would be like the smartest route as far as getting business? Because I am on care.com. I do have a Facebook page and everything, and actually getting clients, I have been running into, like, brick walls, just because a lot of people are stating that they don't really want an agency or have to deal with, a middleman and things like that. So what mm-hmm. avenue could I use to actually start bringing in clients? Because those websites and stuff haven't been that useful.
Okay, yeah, great question. So, Corey, what you can do is, if you already have a website built, you're on caring.com, you have a Google listing, you have a Facebook page, that's fantastic. That means that the foundation's really laid for you, and you can start doing some things to really up that and start reaching a larger audience. So first, I would focus on building your Facebook page a little bit more, bring in some more people, get some more likes, share some more posts, things like that. I'm not exactly sure how active you are with that. But if you're at the point where, you have some solid clientele and you're just sort of stuck with bringing in more, a great approach could be to start doing some Facebook advertising. And that's something that I did lay out here in this presentation. And that could be a great route to take. But like I mentioned, there's a lot that goes into it. And it can be really frustrating to do on your own if you don't really know anything about it, because it can be very expensive if it doesn't translate into more business. So I would really recommend that you start looking into that and consider that route moving forward, because that's going to be the most effective for directly bringing in more business.
Okay, thank you.
That was great. I think that definitely is a great start. And I wanted to add on top of that, this is Dina. What I found very beneficial when I was working as a provider, and even now in my business for consulting, do not discredit LinkedIn. Facebook is amazing in how you can really utilize so many features, but LinkedIn is another opportunity for social media to really engage. And one of the things that John brought out was writing blog posts. And what I really appreciate about LinkedIn is it gives you an opportunity to, very similar to Facebook, you can join professional groups. You can write articles, which you can, if you have a blog that you're using on your website, you can take that blog, share it on LinkedIn, or you can create it as an article. So there are many ways that you can go. A lot of times with home care marketing, it's going to be twofold. You are trying to appeal to the family referral sources, so the adult children, the nieces, the nephew, and you're also marketing and wanting your business to stand out to the professional referral source as well. So you want to always make sure you have a lot of strategy. It sounds like a lot, and in the beginning it is, but if you are strategic with it, it's going to be worth the time and effort you place. You're going to really truly see the return on your investment. Any other questions? Let me look in the chat here. All right, John, you have a question in the chat here from Miss Jadonna. She said, what are other places that we can get our business online besides Yelp and Google?
Yeah, definitely. So there's so many places that you can get business. Yelp and Google are great. I'm not exactly sure how you're using those platforms, but to name a few, like Dina just mentioned, LinkedIn can be a great way. Facebook is a fantastic way. And some people are having success on Instagram and Twitter as well. They can be a little more difficult to navigate. But any sort of social platform and any way that you can reach your target audience, maybe even Pinterest, can be a way to generate business online. So if you have someone who's in your target market, someone who you want to reach, and they're on any platform, then that platform will be a good way to potentially bring in business. So you just need to ask yourself, where is your target market? Of course, a ton of people are on Facebook. That's why a lot of people turn to Facebook. But if you ask yourself that question first and then follow the answer and then focus on that location, which again, a lot of times is Facebook, could be Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and even Yelp and Google like you're doing now, then that's a great place to start and to focus on and continue working and implementing your efforts into what's working as well for you.
Any other questions for us?
I do have another question.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. So I listened to what John said about like running promotions and things like that. If I was to run a promotion to like get clients, could you give me like a good example of a way to like run a promotion? Do I do it on Facebook? Do I run it on Instagram? Like, how would I do that? So how would I suggest to do that?
Yeah. So to do that effectively and to get great results, there's a whole lot of variables that go into it. So I would recommend using Facebook as a platform to do that, and you would have to use the Facebook ad manager. Okay, so you basically go in, you select the type of campaign you want to run, and you're going to want to run a lead ad campaign. So that allows you to actually capture the information from people, and you need to build out this campaign. You need to make ads with a compelling offer and ad copy. You need to have a great image. And all of this stuff that goes into it it's actually really complex, and that would be another very long discussion or webinar that we could have one day. But there's a lot of resources out there on YouTube about this kind of stuff, and I'd be happy to help you directly if that's something that you might want to look into implementing.
Okay. Do you have like a contact or anything that I'll get at the end of this if I wanted to discuss furthermore?
Yep, definitely. So I can pull it up right now. So there's my email address if you just want to take that down real quick. Yeah, and I'd be happy to chat and see, if I could talk you through how to set that up, maybe help you put it together as well, and hopefully get you some more business.
Okay, thank you for all your feedback.
No problem.
Any other questions for us this afternoon? All right. Well, John, thank you so much for this valuable information. You have given us a great place to start for free. And I know business owners are always appreciative of ways that they can get their business out there, especially when it comes to marketing for free. So thank you so much for taking your time today and chatting with us and sharing this valuable information. We appreciate it. For you guys that are in the Home Care Provider Unlimited group, John is in the group as well. So if you ever have any real quick questions and you want some answers, absolutely feel free to ask those questions, and you should be able to tag him to that. But if you are not able to find him for some reason in the group, just post that you have a online marketing question, and we'll tag John in that so he can help support you in any way possible. And I thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us today. This recording, again, will be available. It'll be in the group, and it'll also be posted, I'm sure, on both of our websites as well. So please, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to take down his contact information. If you have any questions, you are welcome to message myself or John, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. But otherwise, we thank you for your participation today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Dina, thanks for having me. I hope that I was able to provide you guys with some great value and some great tips for moving forward, because there's a lot of stuff you can do, and like she mentioned, a lot of stuff you can do for free. So thanks a lot for having me. I had a great time chatting with you guys today.
Thank
you.
All right, I'll give you guys a couple more seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll end this meeting. So whoever is finished, you're welcome to go ahead and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.